Often, employees are called into a meeting without notice, and they may be told at the beginning of that discussion, can we have a protected conversation or a without prejudice discussion? This on its own can be very daunting for an employee because of the terminology that is being used. It's important within that meeting for the employee to understand what the employer is offering to them, and often it follows with a settlement agreement. If you are presented with a settlement agreement, it's important that you take advice as soon as possible, and the purpose of that advice is to advise you on the terms of the settlement agreement, the meaning and legal effect to you. In a nutshell, the settlement agreement, you are agreeing to accept the sum of money in full and final settlement of all and any such claims you may have against your employer. The terms of the settlement agreement, both financial terms, may include compensation, which can be paid to you free of tax and national insurance under the right circumstances. It will also include contractual amounts which have to be subject to tax and national insurance deductions. My role as your advisor is to explain what payments can be made to you free of tax and national insurance and what payments have to be subject to those deductions. It is often my role to negotiate with your employer about what those terms are, what the package may look like, but also to not just look at the financial terms, but to look at the terms of the settlement agreement itself. When reviewing the terms of the settlement agreement, there could be clauses in the agreement which are harmful to you as an employee and affect the monies that are being paid to you. There are also clauses that we need to consider, such as confidentiality, intellectual property, and restrictive covenants. The restrictive covenants will have a big impact on your ability to walk into your next role, as they may prevent you from working for a competitor, from taking business away customers and employees. Typically, an employer will make a contribution towards legal fees, although this is not obligatory on the employer, and this is something that often can be negotiated with the employer at the same time. Whether you are an employer and you require our assistance to prepare a settlement agreement, or whether you're an employee and you've been provided with a settlement agreement, we can help in both of these situations if you can contact me or my team at Franklin Solicitors.